Dr. Nathan Cross here, licensed psychotherapist, 17 years specializing in trauma, betrayal, and what I call identity reconstruction. Before we begin, I need to tell you something about the story you're about to hear. This case came to me 3 years ago. Professional confidentiality prevents me from revealing exact identities, so names, locations, certain details have been altered. But the psychological patterns, the emotional devastation, the absolute rock bottom this woman hit, and the turning point that followed, all of that is real. I witnessed it firsthand in my office, session after session, as she rebuilt her life from complete ruins. Maybe you're in a dark place right now. Maybe you've discovered something that shattered your world. Maybe you're standing in that bathroom, considering options you never thought you'd consider. If that's you, I need you to keep listening. Because what happened to Rebecca, the woman in this story, might just show you what's possible on the other side of rock bottom. This is God's turning point. Let me take you back to where it all began. Rebecca walked into my office on a Tuesday morning. 39 years old, successful marketing executive, mother of 2 daughters, Emma 9 and Lily 7. When I asked her what brought her in, she couldn't speak at first. Just sat there, staring at her hands. Trauma does that. It locks the words inside. After several minutes, she finally looked up at me and said, "I found my husband in bed with my sister 2 weeks ago, and last night, I almost didn't wake up this morning." That's how our work together began. Over the following weeks and months, the full story emerged. And it started, like so many tragedies, with what looked like love. Rebecca met David when she was 23. College sweethearts. He was charismatic, ambitious, studying law. She was creative, driven, building a career in marketing. They married at 25. Beautiful wedding, both families thrilled. By 30, they had Emma. 2 years later, Lily. By 35, David was a partner at a prestigious law firm. Rebecca, a senior marketing director. Suburban house with the white picket fence, 2 cars in the driveway, annual family vacations to the beach. From the outside, it was the American dream. From the inside, Rebecca told me it was busy, successful, stable. But when I asked her to describe her marriage specifically, she paused for a long time before answering. "Normal?" she finally said. "We were normal." In my line of work, normal is often code for I stopped paying attention. Rebecca worked 60-hour weeks. David did the same. The girls were in school, after-school programs, weekend sports. Everyone was busy. Everyone was tired. Intimacy, both emotional and physical, had become scheduled, infrequent, almost transactional. 2 years before that night, Rebecca's younger sister Claire, 28 and struggling with her career, moved in with them. Rebecca welcomed her. "Family helps family," she told David. He agreed immediately. "Of course, she's your sister. She can stay as long as she needs." Claire helped with the girls, school pickups, homework, dinners when Rebecca and David worked late. "I was so grateful," Rebecca told me, tears streaming down her face. "I thought I was lucky to have her. I thought I was being a good sister." 6 months before everything collapsed, Rebecca started noticing small things. David's phone, always face down now. Passwords changed. "Work security," he explained. Late meetings became more frequent. Weekend conferences. "Big case coming up," he said. Claire started dressing differently. Makeup every day. New gym membership. "I'm trying to find myself," she told Rebecca. "Trying to feel good about myself again." Rebecca pushed the uncomfortable thoughts away. "I'm being paranoid," she told herself. "I'm just stressed from work." This is classic psychological denial. The mind protects itself from unbearable truths by creating rational explanations for disturbing patterns. We see what we can handle seeing. Everything else gets filtered out. Then came March 15th, the night Rebecca's entire world imploded. She had traveled to Chicago for a marketing conference. 3 days. She'd done this before, many times, standard business trip. But that afternoon, her keynote speaker canceled. The conference wrapped up a day early. Rebecca caught a 6 p.m. flight instead of the 10 a.m. flight scheduled for the next morning. "I wanted to surprise them," she told me, her voice breaking. "I texted the girls that I'd be home for bedtime. I stopped at the store and bought their favorite cookies. Chocolate chip. I was excited to see their faces. Surprise. That word would haunt her for months." Rebecca arrived home at 9:47 p.m. She pulled into the driveway. David's car was there, Claire's car. All the lights in the house were dimmed. She grabbed her suitcase, the bag of cookies, and walked through the front door. "I'm home," she called out. No answer. She set down her things in the entryway, walked into the kitchen. The girls' school bags were on the counter, David's briefcase on the table, Claire's purse on the chair. Everyone was home. So why wasn't anyone answering? She walked upstairs, checked Emma and Lily's bedroom first. Empty, made beds, no kids. Maybe they're watching a movie in the den. Ew, she thought. She walked down the hallway toward the master bedroom. The door was slightly open, light flickering from inside. television sounds. She pushed the door open. And there they were, her husband, her sister, in her bed. What happens in the brain during acute trauma? Time distorts, sounds become muffled, vision narrows, the mind dissociates, creating distance between the self and the unbearable reality. It's a protective mechanism, but it also creates this surreal quality where you feel like you're watching yourself from outside your own body. Rebecca described it exactly this way. She saw herself standing in the doorway, saw David jump up, scrambling, grabbing for his clothes, saw Claire pull the sheets up, her face white with shock. She heard David's voice, "Rebecca, wait, I can explain." But the words had no meaning, just sounds. She heard Claire crying, I'm so sorry," but it was distant, like hearing something underwater. Rebecca turned around, walked out of the room, down the hallway. David followed, pulling on his pants, talking, pleading. She walked back to the girls' bedroom, still empty. Where are the girls? Her voice was flat, mechanical. They're at Mom's for the night. Rebecca, please, let me explain. She cut him off. How long? Silence. How long, David? Claire appeared in the doorway behind him, wrapped in a robe. Rebecca's robe. 18 months, Claire whispered. Rebecca told me that this, the timeline, was what truly broke her. Not the act itself, not even the fact that it was her sister, but the calculation. 18 months. A year and a half of lies. Of family dinners where the three of them sat together. Holidays, birthday parties. 18 months of looking her in the eye, hugging her, trusting her, while they were both sleeping with the same man. I thought I was going insane, Rebecca said to me. Everything I knew, everything I believed about my life became a lie in 1 second. She didn't yell, didn't scream, didn't break anything. She walked past both of them, down the stairs, out the front door to her car. She sat in the driveway for 20 minutes. Engine off. Rain starting to fall. Her phone started buzzing. David calling. She declined. Text messages flooding in. David, please come back inside. We need to talk. Claire, I never meant to hurt you. David, it's not what you think. Not what I think, Rebecca repeated to me, her voice bitter. I caught them in my bed. What else could I possibly think? She drove with no destination, just away. She ended up in a 24-hour diner on the edge of town, sat in a corner booth, ordered coffee she didn't drink, and that's when the questions started, the ones that destroy you from the inside. What did I do wrong? Am I not attractive enough? Was I a bad wife? How could I not see this? Does everyone know? Have they been laughing at me behind my back this whole time? Betrayal trauma doesn't just break your heart. It breaks your reality, your sense of self, your ability to trust your own perceptions. If you couldn't see this, what else are you blind to? If the two people closest to you could lie to your face for 18 months, who can you trust? The answer feels like no one, not even yourself. Rebecca sat in that diner until 2 a.m. Then she did something that, looking back, probably saved her life. She called her mother. Margaret answered on the third ring, groggy. Becca, what's wrong? Are the girls okay? The girls are fine, Mom. David is having an affair. Silence. With Claire. The pause that followed felt eternal, Rebecca said. And then her mother said something that shattered her all over again. I know, honey. Rebecca's world, already in pieces, splintered further. You knew? I suspected. For months. I tried to tell you, but you were so happy, so busy, I didn't want to. Rebecca hung up. Even her mother. Even the person who was supposed to protect her, who was supposed to tell her the truth, had kept this from her. Everyone knew, or suspected, or turned a blind eye, and no one told her. She was the fool. The blind, trusting fool. She drove home at 2:30 a.m. The house was dark. She parked in the driveway. David's car. Claire's car. Her own car. A family compound of betrayal. She walked inside. The guest room where Claire had been staying was empty now. Her things were gone. She'd left. The master bedroom, David was there, either asleep or pretending to be. Rebecca grabbed a pillow and blanket from the linen closet. She went to Lily's room. She lay down on her 7-year-old's twin bed, surrounded by stuffed animals and princess posters. And that's when the full weight of it hit her. Her daughters, Emma and Lily. What would this do to them? Their father and their aunt, 2 people they loved and trusted, had betrayed not just Rebecca, but the entire family. How do you explain that level of betrayal to a 9-year-old, to a 7-year-old? How do you tell them their family is broken? This was the first time Rebecca cried that night, she told me. Not for herself, for her daughters, for the innocence they were about to lose. She didn't sleep. At 6 a.m., David knocked softly on Lily's bedroom door. Rebecca, can we talk? No, please, I need to explain. She opened the door, looked at him. This man she'd loved for 16 years. This man she'd built a life with. This stranger. Explain what, David? Explain how you've been sleeping with my sister for a year and a half? Explain how you looked me in the eye every single day and lied? Go ahead, explain that. David tried. He said the words that cheaters always say. It just happened. I never meant to hurt you. I was confused. I still love you. We can work through this. Classic justification mechanisms from a psychological standpoint. Blame deflection, minimization, the attempt to make the betrayed person responsible for managing the betrayer's guilt. But Rebecca wasn't hearing any of it. Get out, she said. Pack a bag and get out, now. Rebecca, this is my house too. Get out. He left. The next 72 hours were what Rebecca described to me as the black hole. She took sick leave from work, picked up the girls from her mother's house without explanation, acted normal, made breakfast, packed lunches, drove carpool, smiled at the other mothers at school drop-off, but inside she was disintegrating. At night, after putting the girls to bed, she'd sit in the dark and search online. How to survive betrayal. Wife cheated on with sister. How to tell kids about divorce. Is life worth living after betrayal? That last search. That's the one that terrified her when she looked back on it later. She wasn't suicidal, she told herself at the time. She was just curious about options, about escape routes. Day 4, David started calling constantly, texting, demanding to see the girls, saying they needed to talk about custody, about the house, about their future. Claire sent a 10-page handwritten letter, explaining, justifying, begging for forgiveness. Rebecca burned it in the kitchen sink without reading past the first paragraph. Day 5, Rebecca's boss called. When are you coming back? We need you on the Morrison account. The client is asking for you specifically. Day 6, Emma asked at dinner. Mommy, where's Daddy? Why isn't he coming home? Day 7, Lily cried herself to sleep, asking for her father. Day 8, March 23rd, 8 days after the discovery. This was the night Rebecca hit absolute rock bottom. She put the girls to bed, read them stories, kissed their foreheads. I love you both so much, she whispered. More than anything in the world. She went to the master bathroom. David's things were gone now. His toothbrush, his razor, his cologne. Just empty spaces where a shared life used to be. She sat on the floor with her back against the bathtub. And she asked herself the question that had been growing louder every day. What is the point? Point of trying. Point of fighting. Point of pretending she was okay. Point of getting up every morning and going through the motions. Her marriage was over. Her sister was dead to her. Her trust in people and family and love completely destroyed. Her identity as a wife gone. Who was she now? Just a discarded woman, a fool, a woman not enough to keep her husband faithful, not perceptive enough to see what was happening in her own home. She opened the medicine cabinet. Ambien, prescribed for sleep after a bout of work-related insomnia 6 months earlier. The bottle was nearly full. She'd barely used them. She poured the pills into her hand. 30 tablets. Maybe more. This would be enough, she thought. Enough to just go to sleep and not wake up. The girls would be fine. Better even. They'd be with David. He was a good father, despite everything. They wouldn't have to deal with a broken mother. They wouldn't have to see her fall apart. She filled a glass of water, sat back down on the bathroom floor, held the pills in one hand, the water in the other. Her phone rang. The name on the screen, Pastor Michelle. Rebecca and David used to attend church years ago, before kids and careers made them too busy for Sunday services. Pastor Michelle had married them, had baptized both Emma and Lily. But Rebecca hadn't spoken to her in almost 5 years. She almost didn't answer. But something, instinct or fate or God, made her pick up the phone. Hello? Rebecca. Hi. I know this is completely out of the blue, but I've been thinking about you all week. I couldn't shake the feeling that I needed to call you. Are you okay? Rebecca looked down at the pills in her hand, at the water glass, at the empty bathroom around her. No, she whispered. I'm not okay. What happened next, Rebecca described to me as the 2-hour conversation that saved her life. She didn't tell Pastor Michelle about the pills right away, but she told her everything else, the affair, the betrayal, the fact that it was her sister, the 18 months of lies, the complete devastation of everything she thought she knew about her life. Pastor Michelle didn't offer platitudes, didn't say God has a plan or everything happens for a reason. She said something else entirely. Rebecca, right now you're in the darkest place a human being can be. Betrayal, especially by the 2 people closest to you, is one of the deepest wounds there is. It's not just emotional pain, it's existential. It makes you question reality itself. I feel like I'm dying, Rebecca said. Part of you is, Pastor Michelle replied. The old Rebecca, the one who trusted easily, who believed in the safety of family, who thought she knew her life, she's gone. And you need to grieve her. You need to let yourself feel that loss. Rebecca started crying, really crying, for the first time since that night. Deep, body-shaking sobs. I don't know who I am anymore, she said. Then let's find out, Pastor Michelle said. Let's find out who Rebecca is when everything is stripped away. When the titles, wife, sister, daughter of a mother who protected her betrayers, when all of that is gone, who is Rebecca at her core? Because that person is still there, and I think she might be stronger than you've ever given her credit for. They talked until 2:47 in the morning, the exact time Rebecca had been standing in her daughter's bedroom 8 days earlier, looking at the messages that destroyed her world. Before they hung up, Pastor Michelle said, Rebecca, I want you to do something for me right now. Go look in the mirror. Rebecca stood up, walked to the bathroom mirror, looked at her reflection, exhausted, hollow-eyed, hair unwashed, face swollen from crying. What do you see? Pastor Michelle asked. A mess. Look deeper. Rebecca stared at herself, at her eyes. Still her eyes, even if they looked different now. At her face, still her face, even marked by pain. I see me, she finally said. Still me? Hurt, broken, but still me. Exactly, you're still you. Betrayed, shattered, grieving, but still you. And that woman staring back at you. She's capable of more than you know right now, but you have to give her the chance. Rebecca looked down at the bathroom counter, at the pills she'd set there when she answered the phone. She picked up the bottle, poured the pills back in one by one, closed the cap tightly, and put them back in the medicine cabinet. Thank you, she whispered. Don't thank me, Pastor Michelle said.